Hello, Between Family. This is Pastor Alfred and
Melvina.
my sweetheart wife. And we thought we'd take just a few minutes to address again what I think is extremely important verse. I'm not sure if you've read this verse or not, but this verse is incredible, like made for this time. Let's take a look at that verse. It's Ephesians 5:16. Read this verse. This is incredible for this time. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. That's going to be the focus of our talk. Make the most of every opportunity. And your question might be, what do you mean opportunity? I'm going to scroll down a bit here. They give this credit to John Kennedy, but it was said long before him. Check this out. When written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and the other represents opportunity. In crisis, there is opportunity. So I want to focus today, back to that verse, I want to focus on how to make the most of every opportunity. And in doing that, I've asked Melvina to come to discuss, because we were just talking earlier, and she has some great ideas that can be used. Remember, we're going to seize this opportunity because the scripture tells us to do that. But what are some opportunities that lie in the midst of this coronavirus crisis, sweetheart?
You know, first of all, we're just so just praying for the families and loved ones during this time of hardship. We can't imagine what that would be like for you all, and want you to know that. Also, too, in this time, it is an opportunity for families to get together, to become closer, where there's just more of a united front. I'm so pleased at what the nation is doing in cutting cost and discounting and
Well, but before you go there,
surplus
though,
and
I
so
want you to
on.
go back to that family thing.
Okay.
Because I just was discussing with somebody, and they were talking to me how they're having such fun reconnecting with their children. They're taking family time. And you mentioned that, and I want to talk a little bit more about how families can take this opportunity. Now, I know you can't travel and get with other family, but the family in your home, what are some things that they can do?
Well, I mean, just think. I mean, now when you're with your family, you can listen differently. You hear your children differently. You can get to know what they like, what they don't like. You can talk with them and see what makes them laugh, and tickling fights and wrestling and all of those things that sometimes we get so caught up in the day that we don't have time to do. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love playing jacks. Let me tell you, I'm just a jack queen. You want to play jacks?
I'd like
Call
to make
me.
a joke right there, but she actually really is good.
Do.
I'm not going to lie, she's good.
But I mean, that's a time where you can just really bond and
Yeah, yeah.
get the kids in the kitchen and make some cookies and just spend time with them and
You
together.
said something about bonding and listening. A friend of mine I was talking to, incredible woman actually, and she mentioned the term deep listening. Like she has deep listening times with people. And because what an opportunity. Most time we're busy or your kids
Right,
are busy,
right.
but deep listening means you get to listen, ask questions, go a little deeper, a deep listening, and that is that bond you're talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, sometimes we miss signals, during the caught up in the routine of things. And, do you have homework? And what is your assignments? And we just kind of get to the nitty gritty, But now's the time we can just really sit back and listen and hear their heart,
Yeah.
their dreams,
Wow.
aspirations, and
Wow.
all of that we just take for granted,
Yeah.
And so even with, our spouses and, we just spend time and just and allow that to be a time of just coming together, of embracing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just really a cool way to just
Yeah.
unite.
I feel like I cut you off too because I want you to go deeper into that, but you
Yeah.
mentioned too just how sometimes we talk about the division of our country,
Yeah.
but you mentioned how this has caused us to come together, and you mentioned some discounts and things that they're doing.
Right, right. Yeah, and I think, and it is, it's like a time of showing mercy, a time of showing mercy and just unifying where they're cutting, co-pays, and they're discounting, they're delaying foreclosures and different things. And our son had said something, to us, or that what if the economy what if we all did this anyway without this season that we're in?
Yeah.
How much closer we would be as a people,
Yeah.
as Americans, beyond race, beyond color, beyond status,
Yeah.
but just need. And
Yeah.
I appreciate this time where it looks like people are taking notice of
Yeah.
those different demographics,
Just coming together.
the seniors and those that are, our teachers and
Yeah.
so on. So yeah, this is, I
Yeah.
can see not, I don't want to say benefits, but where
The
it
opportunities
the opportunity
for us to be able to come.
Right.
And I think another opportunity is the opportunity to encourage each other
Yeah,
during this time.
right.
Whether someone has the virus or not, it's the keeping each other, because we're human beings, and if we're going to be honest, we might have days where we just start getting really nervous.
Yeah.
I talked a bit on one of my talks earlier about the corona crisis. I called it the crisis because I wanted you to understand how to work through crisis. That's why I love that. There's the Greek word for crisis. The Greek word for crisis means to make judgments, which means to keep what is valuable. It's incredible how that word mutates. But this is a time for us to be with people, to see what's important,
Right. Yes.
to let go what's not important. And it's an opportunity that lays within this crisis. There is danger. That's why I love the way that phrase says it. And we know the obvious danger, the contracting of the virus, even though people are living through it.
Right.
But there's also a danger in us becoming so inundated and worried. That's why I say you want to know what's going on with coronavirus, but don't let it completely take your day, so
Right.
that you become irrational in your fear.
Exactly.
But you also don't want to become irrational in your faith and start making you think that you're immune, because we are not immune in this body. Unfortunately, we know that every day from the things we do. But if we stay balanced and then focus on these opportunities that can happen, specifically with the family. And another one you mentioned too was just the opportunity to go deeper in yourself.
Right. Right. I think just to be able to reevaluate how you do what you do, your routine of things. Am I putting my priorities in the right place? Am I putting the things that used to be important below the things that are actually, urgent at this time? How am I exercising? Now's the time to get on that routine. Am I taking my vitamins? Am I fortifying? Things like that. You can take a walk. The fresh air is great during this time.
Yeah.
Take that dog out, or even one of the kids or whatever. But just go out and just take notice of the little things. It might just be you walking down a path, or you look up in a tree and you see a mama bird and her fledglings, in a nest, and how that mama bird comes and feeds that bird. And so often, we take things for granted, but they don't store up. It's like they just live in the moment. And sometimes we need to just kind of live in the moment, not in the future of what I don't have, what's going to happen, and this and this and this and the unknown and the unknown that we can't control, but that moment right there is precious.
Yeah. It's that opportunity to take care of the whole man.
Right.
Through in between, we provide coaching and care and counseling for people who just don't attend local church anyway, but take care of that spiritual man. You mentioned taking care of the physical person.
Right.
With your exercise routine. And we have opportunities now. Most of you work, you do stuff, but you can't now, to get that mental person, that intellectual person.
Exactly.
Which is still all part of God, because God made us one person. Maybe catch up on some reading, do some deep study. You have to seize, and most people don't. Listen, for leaders, if you're a leader, this is the greatest opportunity you have. And whether you're influencing your children, you're leading a church, a team, anything, this opportunity for you to lead through this will exponentially grow the people's trust in you. After this is over, see, the danger is all the stuff that's going on with your business, man, with your church, with your family, but the opportunity is to lead. And when people see you lead through this kind, to keep your head, to keep focused, to have a vision, I'm going to tell you, leaders, this puts your leadership on steroids. Your people will to grow, to learn, and trust you, because people need this during this time. So, baby, you have any parting words? Because I just want to share that with them.
I think that's just that's in a nutshell. Just unify, embrace, take time, be still during this time, and just allow your time to be precious with your
Wow.
children, with your spouse,
Yeah.
with yourself, and with your Lord.
Yeah, the whole thing. We're going to sign off. I want to leave you with that verse, though. This should be your verse for the week. Make the most of every opportunity. There is an opportunity in the midst of this virus and crisis. And if you take the opportunity, when this is over, you will have benefited from it. And it would have made you better, not bitter, or better, not worse.
Yes.
All right?
Amen.
Thank you so much, sweetheart, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time here at In Between.